Hello, and today I'll be playing Fredbear and Friends Left to Rot. This game is amazing and I'm super excited to jump into it with you guys so you guys can experience it for the first time. Anyway, without wasting any more time, let's just get right into it.
Hello there. While you're on your way, I'll go over the plans beginning again, just so that we can do this quickly. Once you get there, go straight to the security room as you were assigned to do by the company. After watching over the cameras for a little bit, start shutting off the cameras and audio system, as displayed on the camera system itself. The animatronics in there act as security, so if any wander into your office, hide underneath the desk, since they shouldn't be able to detect you at that point. However, there is a prototype endoskeleton character somewhere in the facility, so make sure that you look out for it. It should be light sensitive.
The first area is the observatory. It has 3 animatronics: Fredbear, Spring Bonnie, and the prototype. Fredbear and Spring Bonnie work the exact same. They will wander through the cameras and eventually show up in your office. You must duck under the desk until you hear them leave. Prototype will randomly appear on camera 3. When he does, you must shine the camera's light at him until he disappears. You must disconnect all the audio and video systems, and then you'll be able to move on to the second area.
Hello there. Welcome to the interactive control tape for Fazbear Entertainment Animatronics. I'm Freddy Fazbear, the lead singer in the group. You have to make sure that I'm heard around the establishment and I don't mess up my performance during the show. It works just as if I'm a puppet, except that I don't have an arm coming out of me. Instead, I need to look as alive as ever, so you need to make sure I don't go dying on ya. Now, let's look at my control rig. On the control rig, you will find 3 main function sets just for movement in between shows. On the right side of the controller, you will see a control set for my head. Go ahead, try opening my jaw. Great, now, on the left side of my controller, you will find a controller for my main body piece. Go ahead, try moving my body forward. Excellent. On the middle of the controller, you will find a few preset actions for me. Go ahead, make me laugh. Terrific. Control training is now complete. Now you should be ready to make the pizzeria come to life.
Good job. The first set of security animatronics should have been deactivated. Now, head to the storage room, which is behind the first door you see in that dark hallway. There's some items that we have seen within that facility from the pictures taken, so hopefully they just happen to still be there. Collect them and try to go through the door on the right side of the storage room. Once you've gotten through, I'll contact you again. Good luck.
The second area is extremely simple, with only 1 animatronic. You must charge up the door while avoiding Max. Max is a puppet, which will be behind the stage you see if you turn to your left. Occasionally, he will make a small sound cue indicating that he is trying to open the curtains. Then you must pull out your controller and close them. Simple. The door power slowly goes down if you're not charging it up, which is a slight inconvenience. But overall, this area is extremely easy.
Welcome to the arcade room maintenance training tape. In this tape, we will be going over how to test and set the arcade machines out for repair if necessary. 2 arcade machines will be demonstrated in this tape as examples of the maintenance work. First, let's test out this arcade machine. Looks like that game worked perfectly. Now, we will test out a game of questionable quality. the arcade machine died. Let's make sure that it's sent out for repair. Great job. Arcade room training is now complete.
Alright, now we couldn't really figure out what was in this room, but there should be an exit connected to the room. Once you go through the exit, then you have to find the fountain.
The third area is test room 1, which I don't know why a child's bedroom is a test room. But either way, in this test room there are 2 animatronics, Mouse Guy 1 and Mouse Guy 2. Mouse Guy 1 will occasionally appear at the door directly behind you while you pry open the vent. Once he does, you must press space to use your hyper flash, which will send him away. You also must keep the toy winded up or else he will also kill you. The second guy is Mouse Guy 2. He will also occasionally appear at the door right next to you, but you must just use your hyper flash. No toy to wind up. You must pry open a vent behind you to leave the room, which is pretty simple. It slowly goes down while you're not prying it open, which is once again a slight inconvenience, but it's fine. This also proves to be pretty easy, but the next one is not.
Hello. Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These tapes will provide you with much needed information on how to handle/climb into/climb out of mascot costumes. Right now we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents/injuries/death/irreparable and grotesque maimings can occur. First, we will discuss how to operate the mascots when they are in animatronic form. For ease of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound cues. This is an easy and hands-free approach to making sure the animatronics stay where the children are for maximum entertainment/crowd-pleasing value. To change the animatronics to suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank provided by the manufacturer. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the sides of the suit, providing room to climb inside. Please make sure the spring locks are fastened tight to ensure the animatronic devices remain fixed. We will cover this in more detail in tomorrow's session. Remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Hello. For today's lesson, we will be continuing our training on proper suit handling techniques. When using an animatronic as a suit, please ensure that the animatronic parts are tightly compressed and fastened by the spring locks located around the inside of the suit. It may take a few moments to position your head and torso between these parts in a manner where you can move and speak. Try not to nudge or press against any of the spring locks inside the suit. Do not touch the spring locks at any time. Do not breathe on the spring locks, and moisture may keep them loose. Hold them.
This fourth area is test room number 2, which is probably the hardest area in the entire game. This area has 1, 2, 3, 4 animatronics to deal with, which are Rotten Freddy, Rotten Bonnie, Rotten Chica, and Rotten Foxy. Each of these animatronics have a completely unique mechanic that completely set them off and make this extremely hard. First, we'll talk about Freddy and Chica. I'm putting them together because they are basically the same except for one small difference. Both of them will show up in the vents occasionally with a sound cue. you must deactivate the ventilation, in which they'll instantly leave. The only difference between these two is that before Rotten Freddy enters the vent, you can see him in the front hallway of your office. Next up, Rotten Bonnie. He will navigate his way through the cameras towards your office. Once he is there, he will slowly move towards you in the back of your office. Once he is leaning in toward you, you must keep the fan on until he leaves. Now, Rotten Foxy is probably the most annoying one. He will occasionally appear in the hallway in front of you, in which you must turn off the power for him to leave. This means that you can't check the cameras or check behind you, which really kind of sets you off. After surviving these animatronics for 6 minutes, which is actually a really long time, you will beat the level.
Hello there. Today's lesson will be going over Springlock suit cleaning. Part of Fazbear Entertainment's motto is being clean with a bit of sheen. They really need to work on that one, but you know, safety and cleanliness comes first. So, first of all, make sure that you have correctly separated the suit parts, as shown in the diagram on page 124 of the employee manual. Make sure that you also have the parts laid out on a table, where you should be able to easily clean the parts. Cleaning the parts is a simple task, really. Just start out by getting a can of our recently manufactured Faz Spray, which can slowly soak and sparkle the suit over the time span of about 6 hours, just in time for the next morning. So go ahead and start spraying the suit, making sure that no electronics were left inside of the suit after removal. Great job, rookie. In the next tape, we will be covering how to safely exit the suit. Oh, and remember to smile, you're the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
The fifth and last area is the final test, where you must return the suit to the upper office. There is 4 animatronics: the suit, Security Fredbear, Security Bonnie, and Security Freddy. Security Fredbear will occasionally appear on your camera system, in which you must reboot it. Security Bonnie will occasionally show up in the corner of your office, where you must press Control to hold the cables and shock him. Security Freddy will occasionally rise in the window in front of your office. You must cover his eyes with a piece of paper until he leaves. To return the suit to the upper office, you must wait and press return when his eyes are not glowing. You must do this a few times until he arrives there to begin.
Welcome to the Fredbear's Family Diner closing training for any chain locations. In this tape, Fredbear and Bonnie will be boxed away and will never see the light of day again. To order boxes, refer to page 901 of the employee manual. As demonstrated in this tape, you'll be putting animatronics in boxes, starting with Fredbear. Then, Bonnie will be put into a box. After the following message, we will begin the recycling process for props and anything else residing within the restaurant. The company is no longer able to continue after the disappearance of our CEO, William Afton. Fredbear's franchising expedition will have to be put on hold until the company is repurchased. Thank you for coming along in this journey.